Well, hi everyone. How's it going? It's Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. Let's talk stocks. It's the Ken Talks Stocks podcast and so many other issues that I'll be talking about. Today had a lot of stocks going up actually on our list. I'm continuing to review the file. We're down to 529 stocks actually that I have remaining in the list. We're going to get it down under a couple hundred. Keep doing reviews every day. And so a lot of things went up. Tesla had a big day. Not a huge day for them, but a pretty big day. Canadian Solar up. So money, somewhat came back into the market. Moderna, a lot of this video is going to be focused on health and health insurance and the health marketplace and how I see that transitioning to to provide better outcomes for all of us and use artificial intelligence and the emerging technologies to do so. That's what a lot of this video is going to be about. But a lot of things went up. And so I like to always go through this list and kind of check out everything and see exactly what goes up and what goes down. Biggest movers up on the day were some health companies. MicroStrategy goes up because they're tied to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So when cryptocurrency has a big day, like it's Bitcoin's up over 20,000 now. There's some pushback. Roblox, the company I haven't put on, up 9% in your face, Ken, right? That's okay. What I see going on today, I see some money coming in. Word has it that the Fed might stop raising interest rates like maniacs and bring everything down in the not necessarily near future, but somewhat immediate, distant future, like into a year from now or something like that. Market starts to try to price that in to see if we're off the raising of the interest rate curve that we're on. Novavax also recovers even more. So there was some money coming in. That would be good news. And I'd be like, yeah, maybe we could get back into doing long calls. I'm not sold on it though. And the reason why is because of the geopolitical instability of the moment. There's a lot of things teetering right now, more than normal. And I'm concerned that there will be escalations and that will hurt the market as we start to reevaluate what's going on in an environment where we can't stop fighting with each other as humans. Boy, I hope cooler heads prevail, and that would be great for the market if it does. So let's hope for that. But I still think that there's a lot of things that are going to be going down, especially with the uncertainty of election stuff coming up as well in the next few weeks. So as I went through all these things, what I started to notice was, there were some medical things losing, and I started to think about health insurance companies popped up here. Now, health insurance is an industry that I have talked about frequently in podcasts. And boy, as I realize why I despise the industry so much. Basically, the point of the health insurance industry is to make money based on how you get your care and not provide care. That's what the provider does. And we have all these great doctors and qualified professionals, medical professionals, and people who spend their lives and really want to help people getting shortchanged financially from insurance companies because that's the job of the insurance company. Here in the United States, we have private insurance everywhere. I do not believe that is the correct solution to getting healthcare correctly. I believe we have private insurance, we also have Medicaid and Medicare. So once people get to be 65 or older, right? Is it 55 or 65? You can start to get Medicare, and it significantly reduces your medical costs, and you can go get checked out at a time of life when you need to be checked out a lot. Well, we have aging population. We have an overabundance of medical care in certain big cities and a lack of it in rural areas. We have so many different issues that the solution to the problem has nothing to do with health insurance companies except getting rid of them from the system because they are a drag on the system. They try to extract profit out of an area of the economy that needs to be service, getting people healthier. That's what you have to do. People getting preventative care so that they don't get sicker and weigh down they don't weigh down the infrastructure of the healthcare environment so much that people are all waiting, like with COVID, to not get vaccinated and then end up on a ventilator in the hospital, not wear a mask, end up with a ventilator in the hospital. Well, it's not a one-to-one relationship exactly how that happens. It certainly has something to do with people don't have insurance, people don't have the money, they don't want to go get checked out. And in certain instances, that creates worse outcomes for the entire ecosystem of the healthcare environment. So I'm anti-healthcare insurance companies. I think they should only be a supplement to a baseline level of care that we are all afforded as residents or citizens of the United States. And also there can be a global kind of agreement on that as well. And the reason why there could be a global agreement on that is because of how we would do it. So one of the scary things about the robots taking over is that the robots are going to take over and we're going to have no control. But one of the great things about the robots taking over is that the robots are supposedly going to be really good at doing things. And that involves diagnosing issues. It involves diagnosing health issues. It involves doing diagnostic testing. It involves even like patient care and relating to you. Like there's no reason that we can't have robots and medical interfaces that are not necessarily human, but that emulate human emotions and communication techniques. I mean, we've gotten to the point now where there's a guy at Google freaking out that he thinks the AI that they built, the conversational chatbot, is a human being. It's not. It's just a really complicated chatbot that pretends to be a human being. Well, we can obviously do that with not just a chatbot, but a medical chatbot, right? So I would say literally half of what the medical industry deals with is people that are crazy coming in thinking that there's something wrong with them. You're going to see a lot of the same people that have the same disorders constantly taking up time of medical professionals because their disease is not necessarily physical, but they have to be calmed down. It's I believe they call that the what is it? It's like the healing power of just medicine in itself and talking to someone and feeling better about stuff. That can be done semi-automated for sure. And there's no reason that there should be a company. This is the company that I would create if I got into the health insurance industry, which really be the healthcare industry in my instance here, is I would set up, just like we used to have telephone booths all over the place. You could have a booth where you go in and you get medical advice and you give samples of blood and it takes samples of saliva and it takes pictures of you and you can take your pulse. There's all kinds of things that these things can do that would be really helpful. And if you obviously need to be moved to a medical professional because it's something urgent, then you can be. But if you don't and you just want to get information, I mean, you can do this right now on the internet, but you can't do it with the physical samples of things. Like you don't, urinate into a jug and mail it away to get answers to your questions. That can be done, but that's not the way it would work optimally. And it's also not the way that it's going to work if it's going to be decentralized, because one of the biggest problem in terms of giving equitable care to people all over the world, all over the country, is that you don't have the best surgeons in the middle of Wichita, Kansas. I keep using Wichita, Kansas as an example. Although of all the Kansas cities, you'll probably have the best surgeons in Wichita out of all the other cities, but you don't have them in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, if I said that right. You don't have them in Steamboat. Actually, you do have some probably good people in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. But you don't have these people all over the country. They're obviously focused in larger metropolitan areas where there's more money, more people needing care, and more ways to pay. Well, what do? We've got companies like, where are you, Intuitive Surgical? It does robotic surgeries, right? Where are you, Intuitive Surgical? You can't be too far down on this list. Where are they? I'm going to find them real quick. Companies like this, they're down at 35. Why? What happened? Oh, because they went all the way up to 237. Guess I need to review. Ironic, we're talking about them today. Yeah, they can go to 250. The only reason I brought them down to 200 was because of the drastic drop in the market. And now, although there still may be that, but still they're a longer term company that's going to crush it. And the reason why is because they are enabling more of a decentralized way of administering medical care. If you can do robotic surgery, then all of a sudden the actions that you perform with that machine become digital in nature, and you're able to do them while you want to do them in the same operating room, so that you can also use your fingers. You can also have doctors that maybe aren't as trained that can use their fingers in the hospital, but the person doing the robotic surgery can be doing it from anywhere and can be aiding the person who's working with it. And then you also have augmented reality, so that you can actually wear something to see things that you would not normally see because you are aided by this robotic technology. This is the way to go. And it's the way to administer and apply not only equitable, but optimal care for people wherever they are, wherever you can get these machines in there. And we're going to be making the machines using the machines rather than having all that human knowledge and human intelligence being one of the only ways that that can be applied and to the benefit of humanity. The world's best surgeon can only work on one person at a time, most likely. But the world's best robotic surgery can be done not infinite, but can be done exponential number of times the more you create those robotic surgery devices, right? It's all about taking the accumulated knowledge that the human species has been able to acquire and to consolidate it and verify it and use it in the application of applying medical care. So the health insurance company needs to go the way of the dodo, and the transition to allowing half human, half automation being the source for things as personal as healthcare, the time has arrived, because it's too expensive as it is right now, and we don't want to say we can't save someone when we have the technology to save someone, right? We have the knowledge, we have the technology, we have the resources. The fact that we don't do it is speaks to the fact that America is not the country that I thought it would be 40 years ago. I thought we would have been much more on this train at this point, and there'd be universal health care for everyone, and we would found a way to do it by this point. The fact that we're not there means that the powers that be in the entrenched profit companies like the health insurance companies have been able to weasel their way into our politics enough to make us convinced that we're not something that we all desperately want and desperately need, which is the best chance at living a healthy, long life. So it's companies like Intuitive Surgical that I make long calls on, and it's companies like healthcare insurance companies that I would love to make puts on, except they're so profitable and so entrenched in our government that I don't trust that as a put. But maybe we will start to do something about that and realize that the benefit to all of us is palpable if we do something about that. All right, so that's Ken's Talk Stocks for the day, and we'll be back on Wednesday with another review. And if you do one thing, I mean, obviously buy Tesla, but understanding what Intuitive Surgical is doing, even if I might not necessarily, I'd say still buy them, but they went up 8% today. I did not even see that before I started the video. Funny. But as wintertime rolls in, people start to think about health more as you get sick. It's just the nature of the beast. All right. Good luck, everybody. May all of your trades be winning. See ya.